The rapid rise and development of mobile devices have led often dragged users into a new age called the post-PC era. And to broaden our vision on this, we are pleased to invite Mr. Wang, Chief Marketing Officer of HTC, to share a few strategic tips on the direction of mobile devices as he addresses innovating through the eyes of consumers. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Mr. Wang.
Has this ever happened to you? You have a conference call where multiple people are dialing into a conference bridge number. And this is usually what happens. 15 minutes before the conference call begins, you get an alert on your phone. Conference call in 15 minutes. 5 minutes or 3 minutes before the call starts, you open your calendar, look up the meeting entry, and then start to dial the phone number, right? And halfway into dialing, you are wondering, wait a minute, is it 225-728-5 or 78? Somehow you forgot, right? Now you have to go back to your calendar, reopen that meeting entry, and then this time, repeat the phone number to yourself many times and very fast to drive that into your short-term memory. Right? And then you quickly dial the number as fast as you can to complete the dialing before you forget the number again. I see a lot of people laughing, so you must be practicing this a lot. Right? And what's worse is that after you dial into the conference bridge, it says, please enter the passcode. Now here we go again. Right? So obviously, this is broken. This is not even people-centric. Right? And this is totally starting from the perspective of technologies. We build phones, we build calendar, but we don't think about what the consumer would perceive this experience. It's almost as if we try very hard every day to make the experience for the consumers as difficult as possible. Today, I'd like to talk about innovating through the eyes of consumers, not through the eyes of us, the technology providers, but think about how we create breakthrough experience from the consumer's perspective. I believe in order to create experiences that delight the consumers, there are 3 things that we need to do. Number 1, we need to look at the world through the eyes of the consumers. If there is a seat right there where the consumer is sitting, I want to go to that seat and sit on it and look at the world through that perspective and think about what the consumer experience would be like when going through this process of dialing into a conference call. And often, when you do that, you find out that things actually get harder, and sometimes things are impossible. Nobody tried to make things lousy, but usually there are reasons why things are done a certain way. Right? At that point, we should not just shy away from creating a great experience. We need to think about what the consumers want, and even if it requires the impossibles, worry about how to make the impossibles possible. Right? And at the end, number 3, create this experience in order to delight the consumers, give the consumer a pleasant surprise. You know how sometimes when you see something so right, not very often, but sometimes that happens, you kind of wonder, why haven't I thought of that before? How come other people don't do it that way? Why doesn't every company make the experience that way, right? You have experienced that occasionally, right? That's a moment of delight. And that's kind of aha moment is what we need to create as technology providers. Now, I'd like to share with you 2 examples that all of us can relate to bring this to life. I'm sure everyone in this room has a digital camera at home. Maybe yours is actually with you right now. Right? I have a Sony CyberShot at home. In fact, I bought 3 generations of CyberShots. Right? And on my CyberShot, there is a button for me to actually change from single shot to multi-shot. So when I'm at the park and then see the kids running around, I don't have that much time, so I want to take continuous shots using my camera. And this is the experience that I need to go through. I push menu, settings, and then push down, down, down to move the setting to shooting mode, and then push right, right to change from single shot to continuous shot, and then select. Now I can actually shoot. Now, wait a minute. Let's stop for a moment. Does that make sense? Usually, when I need to do continuous shooting is the time when I don't have time. It's the moment when I don't have time, right? Because things are moving so fast. And that's exactly the time when we put consumer through the exercise of pushing all these buttons just to change from single shot to multi-shot. It does not make sense. Yet, people are doing this all the time, going through the settings, navigating through the menu in order to turn the camera into a multi-shot mode. You don't have time for that. So at HTC, we have been thinking a lot about what is right for the consumer. Consumers do not think about modes. I've talked to my mother. I don't think she is thinking about different kind of mode for using the camera. When a consumer wants to take a single shot, she will just push the button. When she wants to take multiple shots, we should make the experience so that the consumer can just push and hold the button and then fire off like a machine gun. Right? And usually on a camera, when you do that, after 10 shots, you need to take a breath. You have that little circling waiting icon, right? It's called buffering. Consumers does not care about buffering, right? The camera needs to be so fast that it can keep on doing this almost forever, right? So after I take, in this case, 99 shots in succession, I can browse through all the shots that I have and pick the best one that I like and delete everything else, right? That just makes sense, right? Now, that's actually not very easy. If that were easy, all the cameras out there would have done this 5 years ago. First of all, you need to be able to process every image so fast that you can continuously fire off like that. And the second problem is the speed of focus. Think about how we think about focus in our mind. Human race perceive focus as this. You get your camera, you push the button halfway, right? And then the camera goes, beep, beep, like that. Right? And once that's done, you can push the button all the way through. But when I look at you, do my eyes go beep, beep, like that? Of course not, right? When I glance at you, I focus. When I look at something close by, I focus. When I look at something farther away, I instantly focus. So we look into this. And the time it takes for a human eye to blink is 0.3 seconds. So if we can actually make the focus speed as fast as 0.3 seconds, you will not notice. You would think that it's instantaneous. So we work so hard. And eventually, we're able to get the focus speed to be 0.2 seconds, 50% faster than the speed of human eyes blink, which means the camera now actually works like the human eyes. There is no more little green box that actually light up or beep, right? It works just like human eyes. Whatever you look at, it becomes sharp. And you will notice that initially it's blurry, but it becomes sharp almost instantaneously. This is a camera that works like human eyes. There is no pressing the button halfway. You just look at it, it focuses, take a picture. And the speed of that focus is faster than human eyes blink. Now, there is also the reaction speed of a camera, right? And so we look into how humans behave when we react to something. When you are driving, and then if something just rushes into the middle of the street, and you slam on the brake instantaneously, that human reaction time is 0.7 seconds. Now, a lot of cameras in the market says, we can power up the camera in 1.5 seconds. Well, what is right? Well, what is right is actually human-based. It's not technology-based. This is how fast you can react to something. Anything faster than that does not matter anymore because the bottleneck is human, not technology. Anything slower than that, you perceive a delay. And that's why we work so hard to make the camera's power up time to be exactly 0.7. There is a reason for that. So when you launch the camera from the unlocked screen, you can instantly take that picture. So it actually happened faster than I can talk. Right? So I'll show that to you again. It's very fast, so you have to pay attention. So you start with the lock screen of the phone. You unlock directly into the camera and instantly take that picture. See that? Okay. So because of that, you are able to create camera experience like this. A lot of impossible things, turning a camera into a human eyes. So it look at the world and focus the world the way that we do it, right? Being able to process that many shots in that high-speed succession, right? And that make the consumer experience exactly the way the consumer expect. Now, this is obviously very counter-traditional, right? It's different from how we perceive camera before, right? And speaking of our prior perception, there is also one more thing that I think is worth mentioning, which is this little disc, right? Almost every camera, your camera probably has that little disc right there where you can turn the knob to change from the video mode into camera mode, right? So one time, my daughter was having her birthday, and we were singing happy birthday song. And of course, I got my cyber shot, turned it into the video mode, and I was recording everybody singing happy birthday, right? That's a precious moment to me, so I want to capture that. And then when she was about to blow off the candle, I want to take some photos. Obviously, that's the perfect moment to take photos, right? So what did I have to do? Well, I had to stop the video, turn the knob to photo, and then take the photos, and then immediately turn the knob back to video, and then continue to shoot the video. At the end, I got some photos, but I did not even time the photos right. And I got 2 video segments, the before segment and the after segment. But you know what? I missed the most critical 6 seconds in between. That's the 6 seconds I want when she actually was blowing, the birthday candles. Now, did we ever ask the question, why do we need to do that? That obviously does not make sense, right? Why do millions of people every day have to miss that priceless moment? What's even worse than that experience is the fact that we lost the ability to say no. We did not even know that's wrong. We got brainwashed in the last 10 years, and we thought that's how the camera should be. Of course, there got to be a knob right there, right? If you buy a camera that does not have a knob, you think something is wrong with that camera, right? So when we think about the world, when we look at the world through the eyes of the consumers, we start to reinvent the camera. And we actually think the camera should not have a knob. So this is what we came out with. We came out with a camera that does not have a knob, but actually has 2 buttons. So when I want to take photos, I just push the photo button to take photos, right? And when I want to take videos, I would just push the video buttons to take video. And when I am recording a video, since I still have the photo button, I can take photos while still continuing to record the videos, right? Isn't that what consumers want? If we define a technology not through what we know, but through the eyes of the consumer, we create something that consumers really want. So in that birthday scenario, I would have been able to record the video, and while the video is still recording, take photos, high-resolution photos simultaneously. But there is more. After I record the video, when I play back the video, see that camera button, I can still take photo while watching the playback of that video. So just in case I missed it the first time, I can actually take a couple more shots. So what does this mean? It means that when we actually look at the consumer's perspective and try to do things from their perspective, rather than asking the question whether that's possible or not, but ask the questions, this is what the consumers really want. We create an experience where you can take photos while you are recording videos, you can take video while you are taking photos, and you can take photos while you are playing back a video. You do whatever you want. There is no such thing as video mode or camera mode. In fact, the word mode should be removed from the dictionary. You just do whatever you want, anytime you want, even simultaneously. So, in summary, to innovate through the eyes of consumers, we must do three things. Number one, always sit on that chair and look at the world through the eyes of the consumers. That's how you can decide what is important to the consumers, not what is important to you. And number two, obviously you're going to encounter things that are really, really hard. Sometimes they are called impossible. But that's a great moment. At that moment, whichever companies, whichever person can make the impossibles possible, earn the right to innovate. And number three, at the end, don't forget that everything that we do is not to create technologies, but to paint a smile on the face of the consumers. That's innovating through the eyes of the consumers. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mr. Wang, for sharing your strategies. Ladies and gentlemen, we'll now take a short break. Kindly be reminded that the next session begins at 11:30. Thank you.